You know, I've played plenty of JRPGs in my lifetime, from Final Fantasy, Persona, to Kingdom Hearts. I'm a hell of a Square Enix fan, so once I realized that I'd never touched a single Dragon Quest game in my entire 21 years of living, I just had to immerse myself within one. So upon hearing a lot of good things about Dragon Quest XI, I decided to install it and give it a whirl as soon as the definitive edition was released on Xbox's Game Pass. At this point I had pretty high expectations, but after spending hours upon hours experiencing it, was it really worth it in the end? Is it even considered one of the most underrated RPGs in existence? Of course, those questions will be answered once we embark on an explorative dive into the world of Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age. However, before I completely vocalize my thoughts, I want to briefly specify what this game is all about, especially if you're watching this video and you have no clue what the heck I'm talking about. So like every other Dragon Quest game, the player plays as a silent hero, who obviously is in desperate need for either a haircut or an entire change in hairstyle. Seriously, it's horrendous, especially when you have to look at the guy for over 100 hours of gameplay. But anyways, our hero is also known as Luminary, whose main duty is to protect the world from destruction. Inevitably, threats drive our hero towards countless and different detailed areas, incredible towns, and scenic environments, in which the player meets 6 amazing playable main characters that eventually join the party. Jade, Serena, bestest girl, Veronica, Rab, Sylvando, and Erik. With that being said, the characters, their development, and their arcs are one of the major reasons why I fell in love with this game to begin with. They're collectively likable and comedic, not only as individuals, but when they interact with each other, especially with Veronica's snappiness and Sylvando's flamboyance. And although the character that we play as is completely quiet the entire game, it didn't change the subtle impact that he had. Each and every one of the characters were written, designed, and voiced so well, both in English and Japanese, which ultimately led them to have a lot to offer to the story. I don't care what anyone says about the soundtrack, it was awesome, especially that one boss battle theme. Like, who doesn't love that theme? This definitive edition even gives you a choice between listening to the beautifully crafted orchestrated version, which honestly is so much better. Let's move on to the 16-bit Tickington feature, which is basically the ability to warp over to different places from the previous Dragon Quest titles. In order to have access to these locations, you need the passwords from cute little toggles that are scattered around the world. The gist of it is, you gotta find them, and if you do, you get said password. I'm gonna be honest, I found plenty of passwords across the duration of the game, but since it was optional and I had no prior knowledge of any Dragon Quest game, I didn't care much about it. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna have nostalgia from delving into these areas, but I'm sure that there are many longtime fans that love this feature, so you know, good for you. Unlike the original version of the game, it allows you to choose between a 3D mode or a 2D mode, which is a pretty awesome feature to have, especially for those that enjoy the classic appearance. Since I get rather confused easily with the visuals and stuff, I mostly stuck with the 3D mode, but I did try my hand at playing 2D, it's just sadly not the same. In terms of the combat, it's strictly an enjoyable turn-based, which is something that I'm more than used to and have grown to love. The game does allow you to physically move your party members around within the battle areas, but you know, that's optional. Funny thing is, whenever I play a turn-based RPG, I get incredibly stressed out whenever the main boss battles come up, simply because I know I'm under-leveled and I know that I'm going to be stuck on them for who knows how long. It could be days, could be a couple of grueling hours. This usually causes me to drift from said video game and take a good old week break before I return to it and start level grinding because, you know, I have to. I hate doing that, not gonna lie. Nothing against the game itself, but it's really difficult to force myself to gain experience from fights, especially when I can just easily sprint past the enemies as you do in DQ11. Like, I can't tell you how many times I did that, just ignoring battles to get to the good stuff. But the reality is, and this is a great tip for anyone that hasn't played this lovely game yet, make sure you devote a decent amount of time to leveling up your party. Towards the late game stages, there's a particular tactic that makes it extremely easier to level up, but until then, gaining a good amount of experience is a must. Besides that, I really like the battles. The enemy and boss designs were nothing short of awesome. So in the beginning of this video, I asked if this game was underrated. Is it even worth a greater amount of hype than it gets? And the answer is, of course it does. Dragon Quest XI is one of a kind experience that wasn't like any other RPG I've ever played in my life. If anything, it actually raised my interest in exploring other Dragon Quest titles. Not only is it the perfect pick for anyone getting into the series, but probably one of the best JRPGs in existence. Yeah, I said it, and many more would say the same. Seriously, if you've watched this entire video, go buy the game right now, please. So there it was. Those are my overall thoughts about the definitive edition of Dragon Quest XI. If you enjoy RPG content and want to see more, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, as it really means a lot. Thanks for watching. And of course, see you next time.
Okay, darlings, you have fun now. I need to go and powder my horse. Ciao for now.